I'm going to talk about how to sell a complex product or service on social media. It's often referred to as solution selling because it's not a straightforward sale. You don't just turn up at someone's office or on the phone, have a quick conversation and then you close. Very often you'll be meeting with somebody 3, 4, 5, 6 times or spending time on the phone to do that, and you're going to go through some steps really of asking people about their problems, discussing the implications of their problem. They're going to be telling you about the payoff that they need to solve that problem. So it's quite a complex process. Now that style of selling is often referred to as solution selling, and social media is perfect for that. The reason that social media is perfect is that on social you don't actually sell. You ask people questions about their problems and about their implications, and by doing that you're having a public conversation which many other people will see and learn from. So if, for example, you're a manufacturer who are looking for a particular piece of equipment, by explaining the benefits and explaining some of the solutions that this equipment will offer, other people who follow you or connected to you will also be a part of that conversation and can learn from that. So what I want to talk to you about is some of the steps that you can take with solution selling. Now, let's just take LinkedIn as a particular example. On LinkedIn you can join a lot of different groups for different professions, right? On LinkedIn there are groups for industries, there are groups for professional associations, there are groups for different areas, so they're chambers of commerce for different areas of the country or cities that you live in. Now, on those groups, people will have particular problems that they're often complaining about. So for example, if you go to a property forum, people will be talking about how frustrated it is about locating property or about property prices or local zoning laws. Now what you can do is you can put out onto a LinkedIn group a question. So you might ask people, have you been affected by the zoning laws in your city? Tell us about it. And people will post and talk about those problems. What you can then do is you can put to them a further question. So they've told you about the problem. You can then ask them about what the implications are. And you can then put forward a number of different solutions, or you can talk about how you particularly dealt with that problem in the past. Now, all along, you're not actually selling. What you're doing is you're asking people about problems they've experienced, and then you are discussing ways forward to deal with that. And what you're doing is, on a LinkedIn group, that group might have hundreds of thousands of followers who are following that conversation. And some of those people will join into that conversation. Once somebody has asked you a number of questions, you then get to a point in that LinkedIn discussion where you can say to that person, that's a very good question you're asking, it's probably a good idea to take this discussion offline. Do you have your contact details, or let's connect privately? And then what you have there is a sales opportunity to then take that conversation further. But really what you're doing on social media is a little bit like sitting at the front of a hall, and you've got hundreds of delegates sitting in the audience, and there's a client who is sitting next to you telling you about the problem that he or she is having, and you in front of that audience are explaining some ways forward. And other people in the audience are saying, oh wow, you know what, we've got that problem as well, we need to talk to you. So if you are someone who is selling complex solutions, what you need to do is find, for example, on LinkedIn, groups where people who are similar to your clients who have those problems, and putting out questions that those people are going to be having, and then answering problems that people have, offering solutions. And what you're doing is by basically answering questions, you are showing you're proving your competence. You're also displaying credibility, and you are attracting a lot of interest in your products. So the thing to take away from this short video is next time that you are selling something, find a LinkedIn group and ask the right questions, and never sell.